Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's traveling under the sea with me tonight?
I am Joe Butler, and I am the quirky smart boy you bring on every adventure.
I bring you on a lot of them.
You really do.
Hey everyone, this is Joe Larrey, and I'm just going to make a bridge here, and it's going to take me like 11 seconds.
It had to take longer to put out that dynamite, though, than 11 seconds.
And the Let's Play Princess Phoebe Stanton, reminding you all to eat your 4 basic food groups: beans, bacon, whiskey, and lard.
That could be the 4 for you in the area you live. I would believe
Shut up.
I'm Sierra Jones, aka the Warden on Bias Gamings, and I approve this lunch.
it.
There we go.
And just because I thought of it a little bit after, I just want to say, it's like under the sea, everything is better where it's wetter. It's like the other movie says.
Under the sea.
We're not here to talk about that movie, unfortunately, even though I do want to cover that actually someday, because it fits my Kingdom Hearts bullshit. But we are here to talk about a movie I never saw before that was only on here because of Joseph Larrey, who put it on the Discord suggestion, and it won a Patreon poll, or tied with a Patreon poll.
Yay.
Atlantis, The Lost Empire, directed by Gary Truesdale and Kirk Wise, and production by Walt Disney, and came out in 2001. And somehow I missed this movie completely. Never saw
I don't
this
know how.
kid, nothing. I mean,
A lot
I
of
would have
people
been like,
seem to have missed this.
I was middle school, so I would have been I was getting too manly for animated movies. I say that, but I was watching other animated movies. So I don't know why. I just missed this for some reason.
No, Mike, that's reoccurring. This and Treasure Planet seem to be the 2 big ones that everybody missed out on,
Yeah.
but now they're
Yeah.
big cult classics.
I've never seen Treasure
Oh
Planet
yeah,
either.
no.
And they were released
Oh
right
my
after each other, weren't they?
god! Why?
Yeah, Joe, you're right. You know, Treasure Planet is 200002, so
Oh yeah.
they're very close.
Okay.
What about the movie
Yeah.
Titan?
Oh, I love
Titan
Titan.
A? Oh my
Titan.
god, Titan A is great.
Great, yeah.
That was.
Never seen that
I
either.
actually didn't watch that
Oh.
one till Mario. So.
What about Road to El Dorado? That was around this time too.
That was
I
a
saw
good
that.
one, too.
The movie.
That was another one I was obsessed with when I was a kid. So yeah.
Also, same movie.
It really is.
We'll see. I'm going to go back to it. It's because they're all on the freaking Discord suggestion, so I will
Good.
get to them.
Excellent.
I'm trying. This year I said that I would do a lot of the Discord suggestions, and I'm making a real effort to knock out some.
Well, it's
So
it's
Got it.
Atlantis. It's Atlantis. What possibly could have happened in 2001 that could have... Oh, yeah.
Oh. Wow. It's really
Yeah.
funny because
This is
there's
before
two,
9/11. Oh,
there
that's why
are-
we don't know about it.
there are 2
I
franchises I
want to
know
laugh,
with
but don't want
Atlantis
to
in them,
laugh.
and all I was missing from Rourke's outfit was the little circle above the half A, and it would have just been a Stargate SG-1 reference.
So, Phoebe, what is your history with this movie?
I'm pretty sure I saw this movie in theaters, and my grandmother owned the first-person shooter game on the PC.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
You heard me correctly, and it's
I
not
know what you're
a
talking
good
about,
game.
yep.
It is awful.
Joe
Wow.
Butler, what is your history with this?
Yeah, this was also a weird thing for me where I didn't see this in theater. Or no, I did. I did, because I remember this is one of those infamous movies where I was like, oh man, me and my sister should go see this movie, and we made her parents take us, and then they went, wow, it sure is violent for a kids movie, and we went, haha, yeah.
Oh, God.
And then Harry Potter came out.
Yeah.
That's all we cared about.
No, okay, that's probably also why this is lesser known.
No, I
Okay.
think Harry Potter's 2002.
No, I want to say the year before.
Mm,
Let's
I
check.
mean,
Of course, we're
well,
we have the
looking it
ability to
up.
find out, for the record.
I'm already looking at that. Give me a minute.
Okay.
Oh, what
checking
a
it too. Came out after
what a weird-
November 2001.
yeah, what a weird year. That was Tomb Raider, Fast and the Furious, AI,
Oh,
Evolution,
Tomb Raider.
Oh God, Evolution.
I saw Tomb Raider in
Sword.
theaters.
Oh,
Swordfish.
I love Evolution.
That
Just
movie
kill
was
the
so
aliens with
fucking
the
stupid.
head and shoulders.
That
Seven
was
Up,
great.
Yeah, I guess that wasn't the year for, or actually that wasn't the month for like animated movies, because Atlantis is the only animated movie for that month.
Okay. Joel Ray, what is your history with this? Why'd you pick this for the show originally?
So I picked this because I saw this in the theater, and this was a weird time. This is when I was starting to get into like D&D and fantasy things. So I guess just I saw this movie at the right time, so it really stuck with me
Yeah.
at that time, just with all the fantasy and kind of sci-fi elements in this. And when you do watch it, at least at the time now and as a kid, it felt very un-Disney-like for a Disney movie. Because I know we were talking before the show, we mentioned like some things like gargoyles, and this has a very heavy gargoyles kind of feel to it, which was definitely more geared towards, I don't want to say adults, but definitely not exactly kid-friendly stuff. So it's just a movie that's always kind of stuck with me.
Fair. And Sierra, what is your history
sorry.
with this movie?
Sorry. My history was like 5 when it came out. So I think I saw it like a year or two later. I don't really remember watching it in theater or nothing like that. I just remember watching it and just really loving this movie. And I thought, I can't remember her name right now. With the main character, the love interest, the white hair and everything. Kiara.
Ida?
Edna?
Kita, yeah.
Kita, yeah, thank you, Kita. I always just thought that she was like really pretty, really sexy, and I was just like, oh my god, I would love to be her. I just always loved a lot of the aspects of the movie. And then when I had my kids, when I had my oldest and stuff as a teen mom, I just used this movie as like an escape because I always like wish that I could go on, adventures and stuff. So I would just sit there feeding my daughter, just watching it, dazed off, half asleep, taking care of my kid, watching this almost like on repeat. This one in El Dorado, so it's like a really big movie for me.
Oh, that's cute. Now I know who I'm also going to get when I do El Dorado at some point. So.
Yes. Immediately put me down for that.
So I went into this movie completely blind. I didn't watch any trailers. I was, like, we kind of talked a little bit earlier, like, I was surprised how violent this film gets, like, for a kid's movie. They murder a lot of people in this movie.
Oh yeah, within their first interaction with something of the Atlantean world, they lose over half their crew.
And almost mass genocide if you think about it.
Oh, in the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fight with the Leviathan. We started with 200 people, and now we're down to, 30?
Something like that.
Yeah.
500 men.
And it gets a lot less than that, too, because
Yeah, and then the flood goes. Oh.
Well, even before that, like on the volcano, they're all getting killed. They lose multiple people.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They lose a lot of people. Like, there's a bunch of guys that you see throughout the early part of the movie that just have, like, regular hats on, but not the gas mask, evil-looking stuff. None of those fuckers make it out. Like, they don't make it to the end. They're all murdered before the ending of this movie.
Then we found out by the end of the movie that it's fine that they died.
They weren't even important enough to have an obituary. They were like, oh, well, we care about these 3 people. We don't care about all our other, our extras that were here. They're not important.
So we all went, right?
Bad.
We all told like our backstory for this, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because I have something really interesting to share real quick. So this movie came out June. What do you guys think the last official Disney movie was before this?
Oh, Emperor's New Groove would be 2000, but there's something in between, isn't
Wasn't
there?
it the Winnie the Pooh movie?
There's a Winnie the Pooh movie, which I don't count because it's Winnie the Pooh. Because I'm talking about like I'm gonna give it like original Disney movies.
Is it Chicken Little?
No,
that's much later.
May 2000 is Dinosaur, which
What?
which was CG.
God.
And then okay, no, I'm wrong. Actually, Joe is right. Emperor's New Groove is 2000, which technically also didn't do well. But then the next movie after this is Monsters Inc. But the point I'm getting,
I'm not going to count that.
You guys don't count that. It's in Kingdom Hearts. You can't say anything anyway.
No, I can't.
So when Star Wars ends up being in Kingdom Hearts and Marvel,
I think this was when Disney was trying to like really push their 3D movies with Pixar. I think that's also what was going on too. That's why this movie and Emperor's New Groove. Because I remember really like Emperor's New Groove, but I don't remember seeing it in theaters.
Yeah, because it would be this, and then what? Treasure Planet, and then Home on the Range for classic 2D animated movies.
Oh, Home on the Range. My god.
I don't think they did any more after that until the
Princess and the Frog.
Princess? Yeah, Princess and the Frog, yeah.
That can't be right.
Lilo and Stitch.
I don't even remember seeing them in theater. Huh.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch is 2002. Treasure Planet's also 2002. And then everything else is. I'm also counting like original stuff. So like, there's also the Jungle Book 2, which I don't count. Another Piglet movie in 2003. Does Lizzie McGuire count?
No.
No.
No. And then of course, not a Disney movie that's not animation or 3D. Pirates of the Caribbean 2003.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
That made them bucket loads of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it twice. I understand.
Yeah, the point I'm getting at is I kind of hate that Disney didn't give a shit about its animation for like a couple of years. It's actually pretty fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it really died because it didn't make money. I'm assuming this movie made money, but the amount of money they spent was, it probably made back its budget in a half, so it barely, in movie terms, broke even type of thing, the way they consider it, right? Don't they want like double?
Disney, it probably failed.
Don't they want at least double or triple whatever the box office is?
You want
Or
double.
budget is?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, you
I
want
think it's double.
Okay. Oh, and I should say the plot of the movie, even though Mr. Ken is not here. So the plot is goofy guy who works at the museum wants to go on a trip to Atlantis to find it because his grandfather was searching for it and ends up running into who I thought was Dr. Evil, who hires him to go find Atlantis with a bunch of criminals. And they find Atlantis. Bad things happen. There you go. Sorry, Ken, you're not here. So
Real quick, did anybody else find it odd that he has like a brine to his grandfather's hat?
No.
I was gonna say not really.
No,
If that's the only
that
thing
could
that
be
you
like-
have left of a man, then yeah.
Yeah, it could be like the last thing he gave him or like the last thing he has of him.
but also this was at work. This wasn't at home.
Yeah. Unless he
Okay, no,
lived in the
that's creepy.
basement. I don't know how
So,
much
I
they're paying him.
I mean, there's a little bit of that too in there. Like, why is it at work? But then again, his work office also has dead bodies in it. So hey,
I'll say his work office is also where he lives at. So it's.
I mean, he has
it's
an
one of those
apartment.
things-
No.
Oh.
That's what I was going to bring up. Is he has an apartment, which means in 1912, it's really nice that the boiler person can pay for an apartment like that.
Yeah. Oh, bad.
Well, Phoebe, they just don't work at a place that's nice enough to put them upstairs in the factory, like you do. So
I'm going to end you.
you have to leave Nebraska first. I'm relatively safe.
I was just out, so I can leave again.
the first time.
Shut up.
On the next episode of Games My Mom Found, Phoebe's going to be the new host. Okay, got it.
Wait till we
Well,
finally meet in person someday. Then
Welcome to my Nerds of Broadcast spin-off show, Games My Mom Found.
Welcome to Games My Mom Found, where I wear
Great.
Mike Albertin as a hat.
No, it's the full flesh suit. Don't you fucking worry.
there'll be enough skin after you cut it all out to put it over your body. I'm quite
Oh,
sure.
God.
So you'd be okay. All right, so Atlantis, which has nothing to do with being skinned alive or dead or any of that craziness.
I don't know. We don't know their Atlantean customs.
We're introduced
not in
to
this
Yeah,
movie.
you remember Disney does have a tendency to take, bad stories and, nice it down a little bit. So
I mean, I forget how much I really like movies that take place in the early 1900s. Like the fact that this is 1914 and it's kind of like, I mean, I don't think submarines were. I don't remember when submarines were first invented because they can't remember.
Well, you have to think that it's very Jules Verne, so it's almost
yeah.
Captain Nemo Nautilus type of feel.
Yeah.
very much.
Well, that's
Okay.
the
The
other
first submarine was actually 1620, but I don't count that.
Oh, Da Vinci was probably drawing designs. Up
Cornelius
for it
Drebbel.
earlier.
The first U.S. submarine was
yeah.
1900.
Yeah,
The first
also,
submarine used in war was 1775.
Damn.
Yeah, how'd that work? I'm curious.
It was a bucket.
Why wasn't that a level in Assassin's Creed 3?
It was It was in that time. It was used during the New York Harbor during the American Revolutionary War. It was essentially it looks like a bucket with a propeller and some other stuff on it, and you just sit in a bucket called the turtle.
What?
So yeah, they had them in the
Oh,
Revolutionary
wow.
War. You're right. Why wasn't that in Assassin's Creed 3? I would have liked that. I would have been. Except maybe they learned their lesson after Assassin's Creed Brotherhood with all the fucking tank bullshit.
Oh, is this the thing that all those rich people were riding in a year or two ago to find the Titanic?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
oh, that's a good joke, Phoebe. I'll give you that.
That was
one.
called a tin can, not a bucket.
It was essentially a bucket with a propeller on it, though. You can't argue with that.
They
Oh,
decided
not
to do
even- not
Iron
even
One
fully.
before Markiplier got to put his movie out.
God
damn.
you know what's even funnier, Mike? You make fun of the submarine not being an Assassin's Creed. Wait till we get to Odyssey, where the piece of Eden is the trident from Atlantis, and we go to Atlantis.
Oh, I know.
Shut
I can't wait to
up.
play Odyssey, by the way. I can't wait.
I am so glad I stopped at Origins.
Oh,
So
I'm
anyway,
excited.
Atlantis, the Lost Empire.
Man, we just cannot stick on topic tonight. Oh,
So Michael J. Fox voices the main character.
Yes,
I love
that
Does a
surprised
great
me.
job of it.
he does.
It's a very good
Great,
job.
great
of it.
person to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
Great.
enjoyed hearing his voice again. I didn't realize, I like, I really do like him. It's too bad that he got sick.
He still does some stuff now.
Some, but it's pretty sick. Parkinson's is bad. Very bad. I get it. But no, it felt good to hear his voice in this, and I feel like he does a good job playing that character. He does really well.
Feels like they made the character for him too. Like he really does embody Milo a lot. That's how I feel about it.
Would not be surprising.
I mean, they did that. They did that with the genie. They wanted Robin Williams to play Genie, and so they used a bunch of stand up to draw like concept art, and they showed it to him, and he's like, "All right." They probably did the same thing where they probably drew. I don't know. Maybe they drew Milo over like Back to the Future, and we're like, "Do you like it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll do it." So
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, no, he does a great job in this. A lot of the voices are good. I mean, it's just something about that timeline of like, this is pre-World War I, but the country's like, because technically America's mostly isolated. Like when they make a comment when they meet the doctor how he helped the Rough Riders, I actually knew the reference he's talking about is also partly fictional.
Well, Cookie's also got a tattoo on his stomach of all 38 states.
That made me
yeah.
Where's Canada?
I love when he can make them dance.
Shut up, Mike. Don't make that joke. The hit squad is out your door right now.
Hey, we can become part of Canada. I don't mind. They can take Minnesota.
Yeah, we're really gonna get into it later. Trust me, but
I think that's the reason why Mario wants us to move over there so bad. So when it does happen, we're already there. I think that's what he explained to me one day.
Hey, we'll all get to hang out.
I'm also like 5/8 of getting my family here to move up there too, so it's okay.
So like, should I go get a big warehouse and we can go store a bunch of guns and I can become a god named David Koresh or something? We could try that too.
Can't say that on Discord.
Oh my! We are just making crazy jokes today. Please, movie, somebody.
So I think one of the reasons why you like this, Mike, it's also very steampunky and low key kind of Bioshocky.
And it reminded me of Indiana Jones.
That's fair.
All the characters at first are essentially for fortune and glory, but they can't say that because trademark. And that's kind of how it felt.
Yeah, because everybody has their own agenda.
Yeah, and we just did Temple of Doom not that long ago for the show. And after rewatching that and realizing that it was pretty cool, I was thinking about that during here, because like in this movie at one point when you find out that the villains are really the friends we brought along with us, that like the other people go, no, this is not right, and we're going to stay with Milo and essentially sacrifice our lives because we don't agree with you. And, it works. Like, it kind of made me think a lot of Indiana Jones. I mean, technically 1914 would be young Indiana Jones, I think, or even before he's alive. I forget when young Indiana Jones starts taking place. I watched a lot.
When is the flashback in Last Crusade?
Oh, no, there's younger stuff than that. There's stuff when he's like 10 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I can't remember what year it starts at.
1912 is the Last Crusade starting scene.
Damn.
Okay, so yeah.
Young Indiana Jones, looking at the series, 1910 is when it started.
Damn. It must only run for 2 years. I mean, run for technically 2 years of timeline, because it has to be, you get the 1912 for Raiders, and he's essentially a teenager. Not neither here nor there. But okay, that's just, it's something interesting about this time. I mean, when this movie came out in 2001, it's like 80 years ago. Now it's even farther, and over 100. And it just feels really interesting. I mean, I guess maybe part of it's like, it feels more hopeful because so much of the world is undiscovered at that time, and we don't have the communication that we have now. No, I just really like the vibe of this movie.
Except for Miss Packard over the intercom talking to her bestie instead of actually to the intercom and smoking.
I'll call you back. No. I'll call you.
In a submarine.
Yeah.
You can smoke everywhere until the 90s, Mike. It's fine.
No, you're smoking in a submarine. You only have so much oxygen that you're going, it sure smells good. Take some of my tobacco, everybody. Oh, what do you mean? You're starving to death from air? Well, I'm just spurting it away on my cigarette.
I also want to point out they have a buttload of dynamite and explosives on that submarine as well.
Is bacon grease flammable? I need to know this.
Yes, it's grease.
Yes, it is.
So even worse, every other person on that ship has something that can blow up, including the ship itself.
I would never get on a submarine that goes underwater.
I think that sub would have failed in real life worse than the Hindenburg.
Okay, there's a part in that submarine when they're going underwater And when it starts to fill in the water after the Leviathan attacks it, that made me chill. You see a guy run into the door, and the gate closes. He's on the other side.
And they shut the door.
I'm
It
like,
was like,
how is this in a kid's movie?
Because it was
yeah,
on.
I don't realize how many morbid scenes are in it.
Hey, we watched Charlie drown and Lost, and that was on an ABC show.
That wasn't for kids.
Fine.
That wasn't aimed towards kids, though.
I would say that's aimed towards teens, but it's not like there's a parental control thing that would stop a kid from watching that show.
Well, if there was parental controls on TV like that, then Ken wouldn't have watched Hellraiser at like 5 years old or whatever it was.
That is true.
So I hope he doesn't.
Wow.
Love you, Ken.
But no, I mean, it's just this movie is aimed towards kids. You can tell that. I mean, it had to been. It had a PS1 game. It had a PC game. That doesn't mean anything. But like, this had to be aimed towards kids. It just, I don't see a world where it wasn't. And there's some like really violent things in this that would have bothered me. Like, I hate the idea of being trapped and drowning. Just that idea of being stuck inside, like Titanic, for example. I really don't like that film. My wife loves that film. We have Funko Pops of that damn film. We've seen it in theaters, that damn film. But I cannot handle that part when they start shutting the shutters. And you just see, I mean, like, you're fucked. And it's the worst kind of death. You can't go anywhere. You can't, like, oh, well, I'll just swim and try to get to safety and then eventually die. No, I'm going to sit here in this iron box, watch the water fill up, and then choke to death in this iron box. Why I dread it for the next couple minutes. Like, that is...
Yeah, no. I've heard that drowning is one of the worst ways to die, and no thank you.
I will continue on this. I think the 80s... the 90s and 2000s probably our best years. Personally wise, Disney was always at its best, because we talk about this. I mean, but there's several really bad Disney movies. I mean, technically, if you think about it, I just brought up Monsters, Inc. is about how bad capitalism is.
Yeah.
You mean that's just bad? I was thinking Chicken Little.
Yeah.
Chicken Little is also about how much society sucks. I still my core memory, as much as I love bringing that concept up from Disney, my core memory is going to go see Up with my aunt and uncle and my cousin.
Oh, you fool!
And we saw people getting up, and I remember my aunt whispering to my uncle, she's like, "This isn't a fucking kids movie," and I'm just like, "Holy shit!" I'm like 12, so I at least understand the concept.
Yeah. Up was
that's so much.
At least she died of old age. I'd rather see a character die of old age than see a character go, "Oh, sorry, we closed the door. Now you're gonna drown to death." Like, no. I mean, they could have at least let the guy escape and then die in an explosion or something else. But they literally showed, and I pay attention to this. You see 3 guys run into the door, 2 guys make it through, 1 guy doesn't, and I'm like, this is not nice.
I need to. Okay, even better example. Fucking Hunchback of Notre Dame is fucking 1996. He gets. Oh my goddamn you! He gets off to a girl's feet, and then like wants to commit an absolute genocide against the Romani people. Romani because gypsy is a slur. Beauty and the Beast has a whole scene where Gaston talks about fucking killing the beast and then like kidnapping Belle, and the whole town's like, yeah, that's fine. Lion King has his dad die like halfway through. Like,
but to be fair, Lion King is animals, so it's
Joe. Let's double down on Hunchback of Notre Dame for a second. Tony
There's
J,
a lot to unpack in that one.
The god tier voice actor Tony J voices an elderly man named Cal Frollo, who sings the song Hellfire about how he's lusting for a young Romani girl. And then let's also look at Tarzan, in which Clayton is tangling with the vines and hangs himself. That is how he canonically
I wanted to mention that one earlier,
not by being beaten with a fucking keyblade.
Okay, first off, excuse you, that is not the epitomal scene. The epitomal scene of Tarzan is the opening where his parents and a small gorilla child get eaten by a goddamn jaguar. The story of that movie is already told.
But at least it's nature killing nature. Okay, I have a weird thing with animals killing people that I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's
what
fine.
Part of the vine strangulation is nature killing?
He deserved it.
I'm okay with that too. There is something about water.
It was Mother Nature fighting back.
I do not, like Bill Tucker shares the same thing with me. We've talked about it on this podcast. I cannot handle drowning. Like, there's a certain thing, like, I can handle, okay, someone fell in the water, they drowned off screen, whatever, but, like, being trapped in a box, that, can't do it. It bothers me. There's a documentary I was watching about Japan when the floods hit the nuclear power plant stuff. I had to turn it off because it had a scene, which I'm pretty sure was realistic, of what happened, where guys got trapped in a security door because they lost electricity, they couldn't get through the door, and then they drowned. I turned it off, never went back.
Oh yeah, that happened quite a bit.
They can't do it.
Yeah.
And like this movie, I'm like, how can you? But maybe not. It's only I just happen to run into someone also that shares my same fear.
Go to Games My Mom Found podcast and suggest
Share your trauma.
Water theme movies for us to make fun.
You can suggest all the water theme movies you like. There is one person that controls what goes on in the show or not.
Let's watch Grave of the Fireflies next.
Yeah,
no.
You're re-releasing it in the theater. Coming out of the theater in August.
I ain't going.
I think.
Why would you traumatize us with that one?
I think
that is a good move, actually. But yes, it is. Or for Jen. We could do that one.
Of my okay,
Yeah.
You know what? I actually thank you for knowing that, Joe. I am one of 6 family members because it's me, my husband, the 2 couple that's a family friend, and they have a sister. They're a couple, so 6. None of them have seen Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh no!
I need to make them go see that, and as well, Amazon sells that fucking candy, so I need to eat all that candy and keep one inside of it.
Stop.
No,
Don't do this.
Okay.
I'm just gonna cry now.
I do want to say, like, the whole way that how he gets involved, I think is very cute. Like how he ends up, he's like, "Oh, I gotta quit my job." He's like, "Already taken care of. I gotta."
Oh yeah.
Cat.
Oh, yeah.
Cat climbs his shoulder. I love it. That made me smile.
Wentworth is one of the best characters because he doesn't hint at if he's a believer or not, but if you know your cryptozoology, he's got the 2 remaining members of like some super ancient dinosaur time fish family in the tank.
In the background, yeah.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
That's an Easter egg to prove that he is so in love with this stuff. Even if he doesn't say it, he has them on display, kind of, if you're invited into his office. And if you know what they are, then you know that he's a true believer.
I also took it that he's filthy rich.
Well,
maybe that's just 2025 me who, has a much different opinion of the filthy rich for some reason.
I took it as that it was like a memento to his good friend and everything, and that even though he didn't believe, his friend believed, so he believed just for him.
I think that's fair.
That's how I saw it.
It didn't seem like he was all about the money. He also reminded me, this is going to be a deep cut, of the character from Alien vs. Predator that funds their expedition to the Antarctic.
Oh, God.
Wherever the hell they go. I know the movie sucks. I did not forget.
Probably somebody who works for Wayland Yutani.
They went to Iceland.
Oh my god, that would have been a great twist if this was the main villain for the Wayland Yutani at the end of this.
See, this was before Disney bought Alien, or it might have somehow snuck in there if they would have had access to it.
Right, the Xenomorph is a Disney princess.
Oh shit!
The only one that want to eat your
Oh, that's great.
So the other thing that I can also agree with what Mike was saying, I think it also has to go into, hey, I really like the idea of exploring, but I have to make money somehow. That's why your grandpa, which I have a theory, by the way, that's why your grandpa is kind of dead and everyone thought he was crazy because he didn't actually do anything with his money except for look for stuff that didn't exist.
Okay, do you think...
I think that
Rorik killed
Yes.
Thaddeus?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody agrees on this.
Okay, that might not be a theory. That might actually be real for everyone.
100%.
He makes a comment about his grandfather, and they all make comments that they knew who he was. I think it's safe to say that he killed him.
Didn't he say, like in the movie, I made the same offer to your grandfather and he made the same dumb choice?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He
definitely killed him.
He definitely killed his grandfather.
The good part is
That
we don't
bastard.
know who else was connected because Rorik says that he's the one who did it, so we don't know if anybody else in the group was complicit or not.
I don't think anyone
Oh, so there could be the possibility someone else did it too, and they're just staying shut so they don't, get involved in that part.
I would say Hilda and Rourke are really the only 2 villains in this situation. The rest, I would say, are more just, they're hired helpers, but they're not as aware of probably what's going on.
I don't know about that, because the one comment that goes like, we've done a lot of terrible things like grave robbing and breaking and entering, but we've never killed anybody. So think to a certain extent.
He
there-
specifically
Yeah, see, I
says
see-
skirt.
Right. See, I see that Doc maybe knows about it because he probably tried to help them. Like they shot him or stabbed him or so whatever they did, and he's all like, "What the fuck?" or something. Try to help, and he knows, so now he's staying quiet too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know
So many
anything about
possibilities.
medicine from back then and how modern medicine is. So I don't know how internal bleeding modern times works or back then works.
Well,
But the
back
fact
then,
that-
internal bleeding would be let's start digging a hole.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say that's the thing is the
Yeah.
fact that Sweet says it's internal bleeding. There's nothing I can do. Makes me wonder if he has had to deal with this before.
He fought in war, so yes,
Uh-huh.
he would have.
Oh, fair.
Yeah,
His
because
internal bleeding, the only
his
way to
dad was-
really fix it is you have to do surgery, and can't do the surgery
Had
they
to
have
go
to do
in
doesn't
there.
exist here.
He got
Also,
yeah, because the internal bleeding could
1914
just be from multiple things.
Do they wash hands
Sorry.
yet?
No.
no.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So yeah, surgery, you're dead.
Infections. Yeah. You're fucked.
No, they do because they hold up the bar of soap up to mole.
Doesn't mean they wash their hands.
Oh,
Oh, fair. But they will.
yeah, they could just be using it
Late
to scare
19th
him.
century. So, yeah,
very least.
they're already doing
they're
it already.
washing something, which is better than anything.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that's why so many people died in war. Because they take a bullet out of you and they just infect you while you're taking the bullet out, so
With
you're dead.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, they already were doing it by the late 1800s. Then they started to. It
Terrible.
sounds like, if I'm right, or mid to 19th century. Is that late 1800s then, or is that?
Interesting that Joe brings up Beauty and the Beast and Hunchback back to back because one of the directors of this movie is best known for directing films such as Beauty and the Beast, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
Okay, so he's just a psychopath.
Wow.
Okay.
I guess.
And I
then
guess
he went
this
ahead and did
movie.
the Madagascar movies. Okay, sure.
Those are decent. But I think this movie actually was, from what I was seeing on YouTube, designed like they were sitting there having dinner somewhere and they started talking about the idea for this movie. So, and this movie was much
Really?
more going to be a much bigger movie than what we get, but money.
Yeah.
And they were told no.
You know,
It does look really good. I do want to
Yeah.
say the animation style, I really do like it.
I know Mike does it a lot. I haven't gotten around to watching it for my own personal reason. What is it? I think it's like the documentary of how they made the Goofy movie really kind of shows what Disney was like back then. Because a lot of it, one of the things I think is interesting and that still holds up to this day, apparently, give an example, they didn't want the voice actor for Goofy to goof it up, and they were going to get Martin Sheen. Who's the guy from Two for About a Dozen? Something.
Shit. I know which one you're talking about. It's a Three Amigos one.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh,
They were-
God. I know his name.
They were going to have
Steve
him.
Martin.
Steve Martin. They were
Steve
going to have.
Martin. Steve Martin.
They were gonna have Steve Martin voice Goofy, and they're like, "You're gonna have Steve Martin pretend to be Goofy," and they're like, "No, we're just gonna have Steve Martin voice Goofy," and they're like, "That's a bad idea." So they had the regular Goofy voice actor not goof it up, and he actually had the guy sounds like him too, which is even crazier. But he had an existential crisis and couldn't sleep that night because he was worried he wasn't gonna get to keep the Goofy role. And they show it to the guy that wanted it like that. And he's like, I just want to let you know, I don't like this, and we think it's a bad idea. And he watched the whole clip that they made, and he goes, you know what? That was a bad idea. Let's not do that. And it's like, oh, they almost fucked that movie.
Well, gosh.
I should
Damn.
really watch that movie one day for this podcast.
How have you never seen a Goofy movie?
That's a good question. I sometimes don't think I was alive in the early 2000s.
That is one of my three favorite Disney movies, Mike. We need to rectify
I was
this.
just gonna say, come on. There's a lot of movies you keep saying,
I'm
but it's
trying.
just starting to hurt my heart.
There was somebody who's part of this podcast who said you need more animated films on this podcast, and there here we are.
Good.
I'm
Hey,
trying.
we will help you. I love Disney. I love a lot of animated stuff. So
We can
that-
fix you, Mr. Albertin.
I'm gonna say, was that me? That's a typo. So I said more anime, not more anime.
No, it was the other Joe on this podcast.
we need more anime and animation. We need both.
He said more animation.
Both.
He's got a little bit of
Wait, hold on. Both is good.
both. I make that joke so many times.
we're at
Right?
Speaking of that, we're at a good halfway point. This movie also has a bunch of really good memes. I think my favorite one from this whole movie is I need you to fill all of these jars, Milo. Fill them with what? And he just kind of looks at them and then it stops.
Dude, every single scene with Sweet is a meme. Every
Oh,
Sweet
God.
is a
Assuming he
meme.
wanted piss, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you give
Little-
that much blood up, you're not going to be okay. I'm assuming.
Yes. blood. That's the liquid.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other liquids I'm thinking of, like semen, would take a long time to fill that big of a jar. So hey,
There wasn't much to do back then. So.
there was no internet, so what did people do? You know, with their life?
Oh, it could have been spit.
Sarah, I can make it a lot worse if you want me to in about 3 seconds. Choose wisely. I have a personal story, not me, but someone I knew.
Oh.
If you want to
Oh
know.
God. I
So-
curiously do and don't.
Choose wisely, madam. Choose wisely.
When they get
Sarah,
to
yes.
when they get to Atlantis, I think the idea of having it as like an old school technological people thing was a really good choice.
The
Yes.
fact
Oh
that
yeah.
Atlantean is a root language is also a really good choice because they were supposedly like a subsect of Greek, aren't they? So
Yes.
Yes.
this would be around the same time as a kind of Latin.
I mean, if you ask Stargate Atlantis, they were connected to Greek until they abandoned them or something like that, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I watched
Just
Stargate.
rewatched Atlantis within the last year, so now I have to think about this. But you're probably right.
Yeah, but you probably, I mean, how much were you able to concentrate on while you were still working in the machine chained to the table? So, you know.
Okay.
I should probably
Okay.
stop. I can't help it, Phoebe. It's too much fun.
So, it's Rumi pointed out it's really interesting that they forgot how to write their own language. And on the one hand, I kind of get it because all of their texts are supposedly on the walls and everything, which are underneath the water.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like you didn't pass that knowledge down, but you guys still have the ability to tattoo.
But here's the worst part. It's all the same people.
Yes.
So they shouldn't be able to forget. I mean, I can understand.
So here's the thing about that is, yes, they shouldn't have forgotten. But at the same time, do you remember what you were like when you were 1 year old or 2 year old? You forget stuff over time.
After
This
so many
is
years, yeah.
1,000+ years.
Yes,
the human
but
brain
language.
cannot handle that.
I feel like you should be able to learn how to read. Like, I feel like that's not something that would leave you.
Well, no, I can
language
understand them not
today.
remembering how to read. Maybe the language and speaking the language could have continued. I mean, that and the parents shouldn't have gone, or the ones who's still around. That I don't understand. But
I can only buy
reading
it
and writing, I can get it.
if it was generations that have died and it wasn't passed on and people
Yeah,
don't
if there was
know.
more.
It's all the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
It could
aging
be-
at a
I mean-
super low rate. They are
Yeah.
still aging because Kita would otherwise be a 6-year-old still.
I think it's the crystal stops them essentially from aging that far.
Yeah.
That's how I take it. I don't think she was a kid for 1,000, 2,000 years. The movie doesn't tell us either way. My opinion was that like you age to your adult and you stay there for a long time.
What an interesting crystal too, because we actually
So like
do
a Twilight kind of
how it
thing.
works.
They don't explain a whole lot of it.
Well, they say that originally it was just some weird sentient crystal, and then it started absorbing the consciousness of people who deeply tapped into it to the point that it grew more and more sentient. It gained, consciousness, morals, and stuff like that. It originally just had like
Well, that's why I was picking
rudimentary
people.
intelligence.
So it became the
Isn't
supreme
that why it
intelligence
says like
for the
it picks
Kree.
people?
What were you
What
saying,
did
Joe?
you just say?
So it became the supreme intelligence from Marvel.
Yes.
Oh, great.
But it kind of makes... Listen, this feels so Tomb Raider-y to me, and I fucking love Tomb
does.
Raider, so I will accept this.
Oh my God, it does. Now that you say it.
It does, and that's fine. I mean, that's the era.
Oh my God,
2001. Like, I mean, Tomb Raider is essentially, something that's very spoofed of Indiana Jones. It's all part of that same adventure idea, and that's what I think makes this movie so special.
And clearly, even in today's world, this type of storytelling is still holding up, and people still love it because we're still getting Tomb Raiders, and it's been branched out to Uncharted. You kinda have it somewhat with the 2 newest Jumanji films. Just that the classic 40s style adventure it still holds up.
Maybe you're not mentioning that last Indiana Jones movie. Are we just pretending that didn't happen?
Actually, you know what? I'll say it.
I'm
I
just gonna
kind of
sit there
like
and say
Dial of Destiny, but fucking Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is humans from a parallel Earth where they hyper evolved, and that's just okay, whatever.
I only love that movie because John Hurt. I can't. It just the War Doctor. I love him.
Oh my god, thank you for the War Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, Sierra gets me.
I do. I got it.
That's because you're both.
I love him. I didn't realize it was him for the longest time. Huh?
I said that's because you're both sassy, psychotic women, including my wife, would be in that too.
Oi, what are you talking about?
It's psychotic to be a Doctor Who fan?
No,
wait, I'm a Doctor Who fan.
I just think I could see both of you killing someone that wronged you.
Why did they have to wrong me to be killed?
I was being nice.
Oh, okay.
I'll just send the mannequins after them or something, or the angels. Just be so much easier.
I also didn't know it was a Doctor Who reference because I've never watched an episode of Doctor Who, unfortunately.
I haven't either.
That's
I know I need to remedy it.
Down.
It just hasn't happened. It's a dumb reason why I never started it.
Just watch the Blink. It's the only episode you gotta watch.
Well, I want to watch
everybody in Blink. They even reference that this season.
So, that's what I want to do someday.
Look, I found the new thing that I'm gonna bug you about now, Mike. Okay.
That's fine. Please. You're part of the group. You're part of the family.
Yay! Part of the ship, part of the crew.
I mean, if you're part of this crew, depending on... I don't leave people in a submarine and close the door in front of them, so better than that crew.
Oh, thank God.
Still fucking bothered me so much. I watched this movie twice, actually. I do want to mention that, which is always a good sign of a movie. If I watch it twice today for this podcast. That is not normal.
Excellent.
So, I also really like that engineer chick. But is it just me or her arms look really little when she punches? They just look really little.
They are really little.
Yeah. I don't know, something about the way when she's like, 2 for flinching. I'm like, those are little arms.
Oh, yeah, she's a teenager. And it's not like she's
small, but mighty. Well, I love the fact that she's a feisty little Latina kind of thing. She's small, and she's like a tomboy or grew up like as a mechanic with her dad and their sister was a boxer. I totally see it so much.
And of course, she's voiced by Cree Summer because you can only get one person to voice anybody, and it's Cree Summer.
Yeah.
All the characters are great. Mole did annoy me.
They really were.
Fine, but he annoyed me a lot.
That's the whole point. What's his backstory?
Yeah.
Nope, don't tell him. Do not tell him.
I do like
You
the
should have
part
told me, but you did.
when they wear the blindfold to sleep, and they're like, "What's this for?" And some guy's like, "Oh, where's your pajamas?" The old woman, she's like, "I sleep in the nude." Someone's like, "And sleepwalk." Made me laugh.
Ah, so good.
I say that reference all the time to my sister, and she still doesn't understand not to walk into my room.
What a fool! But someday she'll learn.
Yeah,
I sleep in the nude too. It's more comfortable.
Yeah,
it really is.
So I have to. If I'm around other people, then I don't. But when I'm in my own house, I don't give a shit. There's no one here.
Here's my mom found supports nude sleeping.
I do very much so.
Free the titties.
Thank God I don't have titties. Actually, I haven't gotten that heavy, so no titties for me.
Oh, why not? I love Mario's titties. They're like the best.
Mario's in shape. I am not.
Yes, but he still has
shit.
He's got like little A cups, just enough to squeeze just a little bit.
I hope he listens to us. I really do.
Oh, he will.
Mario.
He tells me every time too. Hey, I remember listening. He's listening to it with his headphones in, and I'm doing dishes. He's all, and then he starts yelling at me, and I'm like, "What?" It's just like, "How dare you!"
How dare you say this thing a month ago that you have no memory of on Mike's podcast?
Yeah, I completely forgot what I said. He's all, "I can't believe he called me out for wanting to be Kratos and everything." I was just like, "Oh yeah, that's right." It was great.
He brought it up to me. He was not happy.
Yeah.
I'm like, your wife, your problem. My problem.
As the only pansexual man here, I will say all titties are good titties. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Both men and women titties. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I mean, I think I'm not bisexual. I'm like straight, but still, either way, I love all titties no matter what. That's why I say free the titties. My mom gets mad at me because I don't wear a bra, and I say, "Fuck that shit. It's in my house."
If you're in your home,
I'm not wearing.
A lot of women don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Big titties, itty bitty titties.
I live with enough women over time. All women. So this.
I like them in my face.
So is Hilda wearing a bra? We should ask that question. Is Hilda wearing a bra when she's? So how the fuck did they throw her to her death and she's alive enough to pull out that flare gun that is well over 300 feet? You're not alive after that.
The only thing I can think of is at some point she got, I don't know, she hid a crystal in her pocket or something.
I'm gonna go with what Joe just said. She was German, so therefore that's why she lived.
Oh yeah, she's also blonde. Shit, she is of the master race.
But she blue eyes.
God!
Yeah, she.
No wonder
she
they were
have
gonna make
blue
her a
eyes?
cyborg in the sequel.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Were they going to?
Yes, they were.
Yeah, we
Oh,
were
yeah.
talking about it before.
Yeah.
Yes.
We looked up
Oh my
the
God.
sequel ideas for this movie, and parts of them were included, but were not limited to an actual sequel movie where Helga shows up again as a cyborg to raid Atlantis, and a TV show, which is what Atlantis 2 Milo's Return hints at, where they would have gone and seen other mythologies, including, I shit you not, meeting Demona from Gargoyles.
Oh,
Cute.
it would have been so good.
Cue
Interesting.
line from Helsing Abridged of why are you an android cyborg?
No. Just seeing Demona in the meet up with Milo and just again Helsing Ultimate Abridged. Ah, the return of the Y boner with a vengeance.
Yes! It's just great.
I mean, I know there's no actual explanation to why she survives that, but I was just like, yeah, you wouldn't be okay. But that's fine. She wasn't okay. She died afterwards anyway, because then
The air pressure from the volcano they're in slowed her to scent. I don't fucking know. It's a
No, there
kid's
isn't
movie.
one. It was just
Oh, yeah,
the
that's
plot.
what she would get
Somebody
burned
writing
alive,
this said,
yeah.
you know what would be really cool?
Wait. When she hit the balloon, didn't it fall on her?
Yes, then she
Because she was right
died.
underneath her.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
actually dead then.
Although her death comes off pretty easy compared to Rorik's death, so that's just.
We don't even see her death. There's
Yeah,
no
well-
confirmation that she died. She just
I was just gonna say that we didn't see it. It didn't happen. We didn't see it. It didn't happen.
Dead.
Yeah, what Joe said. You ain't coming back from lava.
And meanwhile, yeah.
Anakin did.
The fun of Rorik, because that actually does connect to what we hear earlier. It gains more and more consciousness and sentience because it's being affected by the people around it. So when it touches Rorik, it becomes a part of Rorik. It absorbs him.
That was good. Now I know where Uncharted 2 got that idea for the blue man that you fight at the end of that game. So that's what it made me think
I
of.
don't want to know.
Uncharted 2, the
Which
boss.
one? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I vaguely remember what happened, but I just remember he eats some fruit or something, turns blue, and then you got to kill him.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Ah.
So one thing I also like to bring up, because we have what is essentially a bunch of guys who are like, let's steal a legendary artifact and sell it to people as a weapon. And all I can think of is, man, we're barely in May and we still have like 3.5 years. What point are we gonna see like this big orange bastard go like, we found the crystal to Atlantis, it's the biggest, best crystal we've ever had, and then be like, oh, we're all gonna die like the next like 6 months.
6 months? You're going to give it more than 24 hours?
I know.
I'm going to give it
Oh,
more than
fuck.
24 hours because it's going to be a slow burn. Just like how Varric didn't die immediately, we will also not die immediately.
Well, hey, we learned from Leonard Nimoy's character, the King. Why did this happen to you? Oh, I tried using it as a weapon of war. You knew it was conscience. You knew it had absorbed all of your previous kings, some of which were probably your family members, and it's like, let's use the spirits of my family members and of the crystal itself as a weapon. You goddamn fool. You deserve this.
Who's he going to war with?
I was wondering that too.
The continent of... Well, okay, if we had gotten the sequel TV show, we would have learned my money is on Ur.
Ur?
Mm-hmm.
The lost continent of Ur. Or Nur.
Oh,
whichever.
the one that was in Illusion
Ur.
of Gaia. Thank you.
Yeah, you are.
Is it bad that when you said you are, I wanted to start singing a You Are
My
My
fire.
Yeah, but I don't know why.
Desire.
Yeah, there you go. You know.
Okay, I'm glad I'm
There's
not
also
the only one
comics.
that thinks
apparently.
Oh, that's awesome. Tell me why.
that. Ain't nothing
Ain't
but a
nothing
heart.
but a heart.
We're gonna take over.
Tell me
this
why.
bucket. Mike, you've lost all control.
I have.
So what was the volcano
so
blowing
sorry.
up again in the movie? Because there's a volcano that's blowing up. Is it because the crystal's gone?
Yeah.
No, because
they're
she
trying to-
shot the balloon, it crashed down, and because of all the I would say like everything that they were sitting on or standing on or battling
Oh,
on.
and they
is,
started
like,
an explosion.
crashed.
That yeah.
So they
Yeah.
started like a whole eruption and stuff.
Oh, okay.
earlier in the movie, when they were in that volcano, like, let's not make any sudden moves, and they all look at the explosive guy who's like trying to set up a bomb.
He's all like,
yeah, I probably shouldn't do this now.
It was either that or bring flowers. I'm glad he brought the explosives.
I think it's so cute that he's a flower, like he's all into flowers. I really like that touch.
Yeah.
Making 300 corsages for proms. What a nightmare. Chinese laundry across the street. Boom. Best explosion I've ever seen.
I saw my purpose. It was like,
He saw
I saw
his
God
light
that
flash
day in
before
the
his eyes.
flames.
Right. Everything became clear.
I think my favorite line in that movie of his is whenever they're like, he's like, or Miles like, come on, everybody, you got to get on a vehicle and get out of here. And he's like, you got something more sporty? I don't know, like a tuna.
That was funny.
Did you drink that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's nitroglycerin. No sudden move.
No, sudden move.
I mean, I'm assuming you could
Yeah, he
tell
was-
the difference of what it would taste like, but then Tiff had made a good comment. She's like, there's probably no one that can answer that question. I'm like, you are probably correct.
Also, he spends the majority of his time in the boiler room. Do you think any of the water he drinks at his job isn't filled with some sort of sediment?
Oh God, yeah. He can't taste anything anymore, so he wouldn't know.
although, can I point out, I think it's hysterical. He tries to flex his knowledge of a boiler to impress a lady.
Yeah.
Well, you know, these
Accurate.
813 models. We got the 814 models. Shut the fuck up.
He puts his hands on his pants and everything. He does that whole, yep, it's just this.
I would have rather have him go.
Mansplaining it.
Have you heard? Do you know Pac-Man? Pac-Man was going to originally be called Puck-Man, but people thought they'd scratch off the F or scratch off the.
Okay, Scott, calm down.
I love that movie.
I love that movie and that comic and that game and that anime.
I have a weird question because I actually don't understand one part of the ending of this movie.
Shoot.
But before the end of that movie, did y'all notice the cute Easter egg whenever the photo flips between the old photo and them all sitting there and they're rich? Did you notice that they all have their little gems hidden somewhere on their body?
Yeah, one of them's like on an
Yes.
ear, the one's on a lapel or something. They
I
all
was like,
have it in
oh.
a place. Like, really, if you notice it, you notice it. But if you don't, they still just look fancy and rich now.
Yeah, there's one like on a tooth.
Oh, that's moles, I think.
There's moles on his tooth.
I
Or,
didn't
or
know
that's
that.
Cookie. And then Mole instantly rips off all the nice clothes because lot of dirt.
I mean, he gets naked and goes in the dirt. I was like, oh, it's the character, but okay. That's how I took it. That's what went through my brain.
And so they tell him what happened, but he knows that they're lying, right? Like he knows they're lying.
Oh, absolutely, because he has the photos of
Yeah.
Milo with
Yeah, he's
Phoebe.
looking right at it. You can kind of tell they're kind of bullshitting it, kind of.
But again, yeah, and he's the one who's even saying, hey, so this is the cover story that we're all agreeing on, right? Because again,
Yeah, exactly.
think about, again, the fish that are in the tank. Yes, he's a person who believes in expeditions and stuff, but he's also about preservation. And he knows that if they let the story out, other people will go after Atlantis. Because Americans aren't the only ones who are greedy in this world. And so, in order to protect it, let's make a story up so that way it is preserved in its own way.
I could totally see that happening.
I think that's why it ends up coming back around to the whole thing of like, I just want a piece of proof. It's not a proof for everyone. It's just proof for him. And that's why he's like, yeah.
Yeah, and he gets the little crystal, which is also, we don't know how far power of the crystal goes, like how close to the source you need to be. So now Wentworth could be immortal. We know for the fact that Milo is.
Oh, yeah.
They carved her dad.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt.
Well, he sacrificed himself to essentially take the spot of his daughter. That's how I take it.
Well, yeah, but I just think it's funny they carve him to a rock. It's, the rock heads flying around.
Yeah, they are
I
all...
carve him, he became the rock.
It's all of the kings that used to run Atlantis. And I don't think the rock, like the stone rock, is him now, but I still think his consciousness is somewhere in the main crystal.
No, yeah, because I don't think he got absorbed by it or hit like that or anything like that, because they carved it after everything was done. They had like a whole thing where he joined it or something, so it could have been just like a ceremonial thing, just like his tombstone or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, going to be with the gods that were, or not the gods, sorry, kings that were before or something. Yeah, because didn't they say before too that the crystal itself chooses a person of royal descent or royal blood? That's why it chose her mother.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand why the kings and stuff would possibly be their consciousness in the crystal too after they pass and stuff. I can see that. Interesting.
There's a lot to this movie. When I went and rewatched it the second time, I caught a lot of stuff I did not catch in my initial watch today.
I didn't even rewatch it because I've watched it so many times that I feel like I didn't need to. I'm like just sitting here.
I'm going to say you didn't need to.
Yeah, I know so much about it. Like I said, I've watched it on repeat for so long. I think my mom had to take the movie from me. And we had the VHS one. So it was like, the TV that had the VHS connected to the TV. Those old school ones. I had that.
How much of
it was
the
a
tape
pink
did you
one.
wear down?
What did?
Oh, God. I don't think I ever took it out of there for like months. I just kept it in there and just rewinded it all the time for like, I think about a year.
Good.
Hey, we all have our comfort movie, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I have a lot of comfort movies that I will watch on repeat.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Please tell that to Mario because he sits there and he just goes on about how I've watched Bone so many times, how I've watched Futurama so many times, how I started to watch Grey's Anatomy twice.
This is the guy who kept telling me multiple times to go watch The Wild Robot. He has nothing to say.
No, exactly. Every time he put the movie on, I just went like, what the fuck? And he's all, shut up. No! And he's all blaming the kid.
Mario,
exactly.
We love you.
Thank you.
You fucking hypocrite.
He's gonna hate me so much.
He has no one to blame that you're part of the show other than himself.
And honestly, if it wasn't for him, I would have never been part of this show. He forced me into a lot of this, doing a lot of that. So I actually like that he did it, but then now he regrets it so much.
The best part is I'm going to remember none of this. So he's going to send a message on Facebook 3 months going, what the hell, Phoebe? I'm just going to go, what the hell, what? What did I do?
Not 3 months, 1 month. This will be out in June.
Oh, I'm going to put it on my calendar and just wait. And then just going to be like, oh yeah, Mario's going to yell at you and not say why on my calendar. And then just go home and be like, what the fuck is all? What did you do? Why did you say that?
And then I will message you. He said this, this, and this.
Just going to be like, turn around and leave. I'm going back to school.
This poor episode.
I can't wait.
Someone's going to click this like, I can't wait to hear them review Atlantis, The Lost Empire. What?
I think we reviewed every other movie, but too much of Atlantis. Great.
I also want to say the opening, like when he's talking to nobody, that cracked me up. The first time I really did think he was presenting to people, and then my wife's like, they're just going to laugh. I'm like, no, they're not. She's like, they're not there, are they? I'm like, no, not really.
No, but you do get this fun little bit of not even the heads of the museum want to talk to him because they moved up the appointment on purpose because they knew they were leaving early.
Well, maybe they were leaving early, but they wanted everyone else to work 6 days that week.
This motherfucker, I swear to God.
I was wondering, like, that's possible, isn't it? I know. Hey, companies do it all the time, Phoebe. Not like I'm personally referring to anything that might deal with you.
Uh-huh. So, the movie.
I'm also drinking beer, so that's a big part of it, too. I've had 2 beers, and so...
Two beers, bitch.
Thank you, Joe. So that's part of it why I'm a little goofier tonight than normal. I'm trying to get rid of the beer I have, so I don't have any more beer in the house.
Oh, fair.
I made my wife wanted beer brats a few days ago, so I bought beer to make beer brats, and I used 2 cans and drink the other 10.
Oh, I kind of did something similar. I made fish tacos with the leftover Clamato beer that my friend brought for himself, so he just left it in our fridge. I was like, fish tacos, cool.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. But I try not to buy beer.
No, I think we sent it in the right. I think I sent the pictures too in the Discord because we made the deep fried Oreos.
I think you did. This is also why I don't drink. I get goofier. Working out well tonight. And I also won't remember any of what's said in this podcast when it goes live either in a month. Remember nothing.
Oh, this is great.
That's usually why I do these high, so I don't remember me recording these.
It's the same here.
I thought about it, but my wife is like, no, because I get really annoying. I get really touchy, and she gets annoyed. So I haven't gotten high in a while.
Mario gets so giggly. He just, sometimes he can't do anything, and he's just like, and I'm like, I'm not even doing it. Oh, One time I had to come home from work because he got into some of my stuff. He was crawling on the floor. He had to open the door for me when I got home. He was on the floor on his hands and knees freaking out. And the funny part was, it was some of the lowest grade stuff that I've ever had.
None
What
of
kind
you
of
are
stuff did he
meeting
get
truly
into?
high or truly drunk, Phoebe.
Why not?
There are reasons.
so curious.
You will not.
I want to so bad now.
So Atlantis.
Do we have any lasting thoughts?
Yeah, there's something that I brought up before we started recording. I don't know if Mr. Butler was there, but some of the characters feel completely differently animated than some of the other characters, or they have a certain vibe to them. Mole feels more like a John Kay character. Like whenever he hits his head on the steering wheel and stuff, I'm going, that's a bit from Ren and Stimpy. And Helga, I swear to God, Helga, some of the animation on her is straight from Heavy Metal. And there are also parts of this movie that feel rotoscoped, but they're not. It's so weird. And it might have to do because of the fact that one of the people who worked on this movie as a production designer was Mike McNulty. So a lot of the visual style is based off of that, of his work. Which, if you don't know who Mike McNulty is, he's the Hellboy creator.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you. I was not going to ask. Thank you.
I'm surprised Abe didn't show up in this in a cameo.
Oh, that.
Oh!
No, I swear one of the colossi that makes the shield looks like Roger the Homunculus.
I have to go back and double check that.
That makes the what?
So I have a question. Was Atlantis like a big thing in 2001 in like the zeitgeist? Like, were we all obsessed with Atlantis again as a culture?
Yeah.
Thanks to
I remember
Yu-Gi-Oh,
that.
yes.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh, yeah.
The good old Sea of
Oh,
Orichalcos.
It was Atlantis was also, if I could just say it, because I was in Japan at the time, they were obsessed with Atlantis in the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know why, but that was just a real kick of theirs.
Well, let's think about it. 1996 to 2006, that 10-year gap. We have the first Tomb Raider has Atlantis in it as a major plot point.
Oh, okay.
We have this. We have Stargate Atlantis. We have Yu-Gi-Oh. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Me. I was born between there,
That's for
You were not from
Atlantis,
Atlantis.
space, sweetie.
Uh,
Are you a secret
Just had to
Atlantean?
put
Is that what you're telling us, Sierra?
No. You could just forget I said that.
She's infiltrating us.
Hell, it wouldn't be hard to
Oh,
infiltrate us. She'd be rich. She could just buy her seat at the government table. It's not hard. Everyone else is doing it around the world right now. So hey.
Atlantis and pop culture would be really
That's
easy
true.
to look at.
Be interesting.
I remember being really into Atlantis as a kid, which I, again, don't understand why this movie slipped under my radar. Like, really surprises me. I think I was going through a phase in 2001 at this time or something. I feel like.
No,
there
was a weird like time where people didn't care about movies because I don't think I saw this in theaters. I'm like 50-50 on me seeing it in theaters, but I saw Monsters Inc., but I didn't see fucking Treasure Planet. But also, I know I didn't see Treasure Planet because of Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. I saw Harry Potter.
Yeah.
All of them.
I don't remember hearing of any of them.
2001 also like the first Spider-Man movie. I just feel like this was the time of like really popular IPs were starting to take over.
Yes.
So a lot of these kind of original movies just kind of got buried.
Yeah.
Disney, we know that you love making these live-action remakes, and half of them have no reason to exist. Can you please make one for this?
Thank you.
I
wanted to bring this up.
Yeah, but
Treasure Planet.
Do you
if they're going to do
them to make a live action Atlantis?
I do not trust them. That's exactly what I was going to say. I do not trust them. I feel like the cast that they're going to do, because I've seen so many different people talk about the cast and stuff. I don't like who they were going to get because they're going to do Tom Holland as Milo, and he already kind of killed it for me when he did Uncharted. So
I haven't seen Uncharted yet, so I
couldn't even get past the first 20 minutes of it. I couldn't. And nothing against him. I think they really did not do the game's justice on that.
No, you need somebody more awkward. Get one of the Sprouse twins to do it.
Oh my God! Did you? Oh, sorry.
No.
One of the Sprouse brothers actually did a whole thing where he dressed up as Milo, and he was trying to audition so badly because he wants to do it. No, yeah, there. I can't remember which one, but he dressed up as Milo because he said this would be perfect, and he did it like.
All
I think it's just
Sprouse
like.
as Milo looks amazing. Why?
Thank you,
Yes.
right? That is the one that we need. That's the person we deserve for it.
The logical reason is this movie didn't make a ton of money, so they have no interest in doing a live action version. The joking reason is this movie's, I shouldn't drink beer.
Perfect as it is and doesn't need to be touched.
The real reason is
Honestly,
that we're not getting any more live action movies unless they're made because Snow White did so poor. No.
Oh God, yeah.
Snow White
can't make this movie.
Yeah, Snow White did so poorly that they said unless we already have it done, we are no longer making live action movies. So the last live action movie will be Lilo and Stitch.
Until that does gangbusters.
Which actually looks good.
No,
it looks pretty decent.
They're negative.
Yeah, they lost a lot of money with Snow White.
Yeah, they're like no more live actions. I think because they haven't been doing well. Yes,
they fucked up Pleakley.
They fucked up Pleakley, so I know that's not going to do well. But Lion King didn't do hot. Aladdin didn't do hot, and I think they also made negative money from the Mufasa movie. So.
Well, yeah, because well, yeah, that one too, the Little Mermaid one. There was a few that they did that was okay. It was like they did a good one, then a bad one, a good one, then a bad one, then a bad one.
Was good.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast was great.
That too, but
oh my God, when he sang Melancholy.
Oh, you reminded me of something that I completely forgot about, thanks to the beer. I wanted to say how this movie isn't a musical, which is what you think of Disney when you think of, 90s, early... Right? I think of Disney.
Holy shit, yeah.
Because the staff, during production wore shirts that said, more explosions, less music.
It worked! It made it perfect.
No license to music either. It's just it's all score.
That's fine.
I was kind of thinking about that earlier today, too, because for some reason, I was thinking about Disney music, and I like to just sit there and sing it in my head. I kept thinking of songs from this. I could not think of one, so I didn't realize until that moment, until you said it again, there is no real, music you could sit and, kind of sing along or anything to. It's just a lot of background kind of setting the moods. Yeah.
Now, see, what happened is Tarzan did way too well. And so they're like, we don't have to do a musical for a while. And that was fair.
What year is Tarzan?
98,
okay.
99?
99.
Okay. So, yeah, fair enough. All right, I think we're almost covered everything we want to say during this. But I do have a conversation I want to bring up. So I want to ask you, Joseph, since you recommended this movie, how is the sequel?
My God.
I never actually saw the sequel, to be honest, because I was very much against those. I believe it was just direct to VHS, wasn't it?
I'm assuming.
Those tend to have a reputation of being very bad and just kind of rush products. So I never actually saw the sequel.
Okay.
I did. I saw the sequel. I have a tendency to watch the really bad Disney sequels. I'd watch the sequels for this. It's not bad, but it's like, what is happening? Basically, something's happening in Atlantis, and they come up to the surface, and they find a lot of old Atlantean artifacts in other cultures all around the world or all around the United States and just, all around and stuff. And it turns out it's like, this used to be ancient Atlantean, we used to be part of this and turned into this and stuff like that. It's just, that's really what it is. It's a bunch of little mysteries here. It's like 3 different stories in one.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole movie is.
Well, it's the pilot to the TV show.
I was just going to say, because they were going to do the TV show, and that's what it was supposed to turn in, and they were supposed to do so much more and everything, but that movie did so bad that it just didn't go anymore.
Really funny that Tomb Raider completely ripped that off later, the idea that Atlantis is part of other cultures.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that they did it in the movie, but
it's
not something to go watch.
Okay, not something. I mean, I'm assuming this episode won't do well. Even if the episode did good, it wouldn't matter because you might have clicked. Well, you would have clicked it for Atlantis. Sure, didn't get an Atlantis review.
No, I think Disney at this time really wanted to double down on animated series because Treasure Planet, if memory serves, was also going to get a TV show, but that got canceled because they hint at a lot of stuff in Treasure Planet, but they never expand upon it. Like, where did the planet
Yeah.
come from? Who are the ancient race? And that would have been talked about in the show.
Huh.
It would have been really good, but I feel like it wouldn't have been as good as the movie was.
No, not at all.
The
Yeah.
movie also
Right,
bombed,
Treasure-
I think.
Yeah,
It-
Treasure Planet had a budget of 140 million. It's the most
Oh my
expensive animated movie
God.
ever made.
More than
Damn!
Spirits Within?
Yeah, more than Spirit. Let me
We don't talk
see.
about that.
Hey, it's on this podcast, by the way.
Yeah, my
We
Spirit
don't talk
Within
about
budget was only,
Bruno.
20 million.
That movie bombed too. Yeah, and then last topic before we wrap this up, has anyone watched, I know we talked about it before we turned on the mics, Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water?
No, I found out about it once you
No.
guys said it.
Okay,
No.
just like me.
That was a core memory unlock from Joe.
Because I'm curious now about this. I know there's a series. I don't care about the
Check it
series.
out,
I'm curious about the movie, though. I'm very curious about the movie. They're watching it now. Because
So we should.
I wanna get some
welcome
more
back our
anime.
Nadia.
on the show.
It doesn't look like it's a depressing anime disturbing, so that's good.
Yeah, it's very like 2000s like JoJo.
1990. But there's a
Yeah.
movie, right? All I'm finding is a TV show. I'm not finding the movie. So
A TV show, yeah.
they said there's a movie. That's what it's telling me on here. Anime, film, motion picture, 87 minutes. But I can't find any information about
Maybe
it.
it's an OVA.
Oh, you're right. That's probably it then. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so that exists, and I guess somebody asked Disney about it, and they went, do. No comment. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, there is a movie, but it's a sequel to the TV series.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I think we should go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Sierra, why don't you take us in?
Great start.
You're welcome.
Okay. Shelf, because it's something I like to watch every so often. That I think I did it right. Yeah. I don't know why I forget every single time. Okay, yeah. So I like to watch it a lot. I think it's like a great core memory. I'm trying to get my kids to watch a lot of the old stuff that I did. Especially I'm trying to get Diana right now out of just watching Coco and Encanto and Moana. I'm so done with those movies right now. So I'm trying to get her on some of the older ones, some of the really good ones and stuff. So I have it on shelf.
All right. And Mr. Joe Butler.
I'll put it on the shelf. I think a lot of the pre-2000 Disney movies are really, really solid. And I can see why people, I say pre-2000, but I also include like Treasure Planet in this. A lot of these early Disney animation movies are pretty much damn near good, if not perfect. I think we mentioned it earlier, but both this and Treasure Planet are like, I can see why people consider these films like beloved and like very, very like close to them, because they're really good and have like really interesting and just great animation for them too. So yeah, most definitely I put this on the shelf.
Joseph.
Oh yeah, this is definitely on the shelf. It's just a great movie. Like I said earlier, it's just a very un-Disney Disney movie. Creates its own identity. It has with the steampunk feel and like we like that we briefly mentioned like the scene with the Leviathan attacking the submarine. That is just beautifully animated. I can't say enough good things about this movie. Yeah, this is 100% on the shelf.
And I'll go last. You guys changed my opinion, actually. Originally, this was
Wow.
going to be in the stack.
Wow.
But after watching this movie twice, maybe the alcohol has something to do with it. It's going on the shelf.
Oh my God.
I had a good time with this movie.
Did you just say he had beer goggles for this movie on that?
I have beer
basically?
goggles
He also
now.
said, I will go last.
Wow. How dare you?
Oh, God, I forgot Phoebe. Oh.
No, fuck you. I'm out. I'll talk to you all later.
Bye, baby.
How can you
Oop.
forget her?
I don't know, actually. I talk to her every day. I don't know. And Phoebe, what about you?
Well, it's not like my opinion matters, but I'm putting this on the sheet.
I knew I was forgetting something when I opened my mouth. I didn't remember what I was forgetting.
You son
You
of
need
a
a
bitch.
memory ball. He sounded like Neville when he said that. I knew I was forgetting something. You just don't know what it is.
Another Harry Potter reference.
I'm
A
full
lot
of
of Harry
them.
Potter in this episode. Yeah. All right. I guess we'll just go to plugs. I just want to say, well, one, thanks your Patreon for voting for this, because this was a tie, so this is why this happened. And I'm glad. Another movie off my list that I never seen before, and a Discord suggestion knocked out and on the show.
Wait,
So-
did Phoebe give her opinion? I didn't actually hear it.
She did. Right?
I said shelf.
Oh, okay.
She was busy sharpening her
Was
knife
that
in the
it?
background.
Yeah.
And Phoebe, where can people find you at?
First of all, it's a 3D maneuver gear, so Blade, thank you very much. Second of all,
Razor blade.
they are big blades and they are heavy as fuck. Anyway, Thanks, Mike, for remembering me. You can find me over on Twitch and YouTube as the Let's Play Princess, over on Blue Sky and the Muskie Man's site as the LP Princess, and as one of the co-hosts of the podcast, Nerds of Broadcast.
And Sierra, where can we find you at?
You guys can find me on Bias Gaming's on Spotify. Come yell at me. Yell at me. I meant to say, come listen to me yell at my favorite prisoner. Or if you want, you can yell at me. Either way, go on.
All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, over 800 other episodes of this podcast, you can find everything we do on Podbean. We do movies, TV shows, video games, comics. Normally, I'm not drunk. Go listen to our giant catalog if you want to support the show. We do have a Patreon, as I mentioned multiple times already. Join our Patreon. We have 1 to 2 polls a month. It just kind of depends on where I'm at and if I'm caught up or not. So great way to support the show. Great way to affect the show, because sometimes stuff that's on those polls does not come back, actually. So vote. You never know. If you want to be a part of the show, if you want to suggest things for the show that I will get to. See, I'm doing Discord suggestions, actually, like this one. Join our Discord. It's free. We have a link in the show notes. We're always happy to new people join, lurk. I don't care. Just join. And I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Hasfield. Follow her on TikTok and Instagram. And check out Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. And also check out absolutely the best podcast of Work in Progress. They talk about the MCU movies and MCU adjacent movies. And I'm on there from time to time. Well, I've been on there once. Definitely go check out their podcast too. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a wonderful night.
Wonderful.
Bye, Nara.
Later.